The future belongs to those who believe in their dreams.
Susan Bulkeley Butler is a pioneering executive. She has learned through more than 30 years in the ever-changing corporate world, there are key strategies for becoming the successful person you want to be.
You realize that we all have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. 168 hours to be exact. How much of that time do you spend on you? How many hours did you spend yesterday on yourself? Other than maybe getting dressed, getting ready for work. Really doing something for you. How much of it did you spend on your career, on your life? Well, whatever it is, it's probably not enough. I grew up in a small farm community in Illinois. My parents said, "Susan, you can do anything you set your mind to do." And that was planted in my head, and I have done that throughout my life. I have a motto that you'll hear me talk about. Make things happen for you rather than let things happen to you. I created my career for me. I proactively made things happen for me throughout the 36 years, starting from a programmer to retiring from the office of the CEO as the managing partner. It's important to realize that you can make things happen for you.
In addition to her career experience, Susan serves on numerous boards, including Purdue University President's Council and Junior Achievement. She has been awarded the Sagamore Award, the state of Indiana's highest honor for distinguished service. She has recently been appointed by Governor Daniels of the state of Indiana to the Board of Trustees of Purdue University.
Susan Butler is distinguished by her humanity in living, her loyalty in friendship, her wisdom in counsel, and her inspiration in leadership.
As the author of Become the CEO of You, Inc., Susan now shares her secrets for career success with female audiences across the country.
What is the mindset of a CEO? There are 4 points. The first one is create your vision. The second one, create your team. The third one, develop your plan. And the fourth one, navigate the journey. I'd like to go back to the team part, point number 2, because we were raised to do everything ourselves. And what I'm saying is, none of us got to where we are today by ourselves. So how do we believe that we can create our vision or create our future by ourselves? We can't. We need a team. We need people, our peers and our family and our friends and supervisors and people that are going to help open doors for us. People that are going to help make things happen for us rather than let things happen to us.
How do you go about asking someone to be your mentor?
That's a great question, and I get that very often. I ask all of you, do you have a mentor? Do you have somebody that's helping you get to where you want to be? That's a very important person, but it's somebody that you can talk to, somebody you can value their input. Now, I can tell you it's not somebody that you want to solve your problem, however. At least I don't. And I really get upset with my friend when I start talking to him and he immediately jumps in and says, "Well, Susan, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about..." I don't want that. I want somebody that's going to listen.
Susan Butler is both a mentor and role model to me, and I have learned from watching and listening to her. To Susan, the correct path is not the conventional one. It is the one that is right for you.
What I've found recently, and this is just a newfound person on my team, is an executive coach. And somebody might say, well, how is that person different than your mentor? And my point is, the only real difference that I see is that you're paying them. As a mentor, I will, people will just provide a good ear whenever you want it. As a coach, you set up an appointment, you have 30 minutes or 60 minutes, and you pay them for their time. It makes a difference in how you react to the results of that meeting. Find a mentor, someone that you value their feedback, someone that you trust, because if you've got something in your gut, you need to get it out. Because the time that you're spending thinking about what's in your gut, you need to be spending on the future, on yourself. I was talking about the mindset of a CEO. And we talked about how important it was to have your vision and your team and your plan. But now let's think about the fact that you have a product. Have you ever thought about that before? You are a product. Now, product is your skills and your capabilities. And what I'd like to question for you is your product current? Have you ever thought about whether or not your product is current? Or are you thinking about expanding your product every day? That's really important to think about, your product. And then you think about, well, how do you package that product? And the impression that you leave.
Leading the way for many dramatic changes in the corporate world, Susan retired as the managing partner of the office of the CEO at Accenture. Her experience with a large technology business and consulting firm led Upside Magazine to name Susan one of 50 women in technology who moved above the glass ceiling cliché.
Susan Bulkeley Butler is one of Purdue University's most remarkable graduates. She rose against great odds to the highest levels of business success.
I talked to people that met me the first time, and they can tell me exactly what I had on. Can you believe that? Exactly what I had on. And I think, oh my goodness, what did I have on? And they'll describe it to me. So that's the kind of thing that we need to think about our product, of who we are and who we want to be, and our packaging. I mean, have you ever gotten a wimpy handshake and the reaction that you get with that? That's a first impression. Do you have eye-to-eye contact with people? You know, if you're always looking over the shoulder over here to see who's coming in the door, you know, you're not interested in me. Those are the little things about marketing yourself. We may have to learn a new word in our vocabulary, and that's the word no. One of the things that I get really excited about is when I say no. And I actually pat myself on the, wow, Susan, you actually said the no word. We were raised, I think, to say yes to everybody, and our plate is full. So it's kind of interesting to use that no word every now and then and say, gee, I just said no, and I could make some of that time available for me.
Susan Butler is one of America's preeminent experts on women's business issues.
At this point, it's time for you to go make things happen for you. As CEO of You Inc., you've accepted the responsibility, right? You're going to ask for what you want, and you're going to learn how to put the no word in your vocabulary so your plate doesn't just go overflowing, and that you'll have some time for yourself. Go make it happen. And thanks so much for coming.
How do you find time to become the CEO in you? Because I'm so busy. What do you do?
It's a good question, Elizabeth, and I get it a lot. One of the first things...
If you or your organization are interested in booking Susan for a group meeting or conference, please call the Susan Bulkeley Butler Institute for the Development of Women Leaders at 773-854-6999. Or you can write the Susan Bulkeley Butler Institute at 6438 North Desert Wind Circle, Tucson, Arizona, 85750. For more information online, go to sbbinstitute.org or email Susan at sbbinstitute.org.